So, Blizzard hates Asmongold. OG WoW led dev fires back after leak. Let's see what this is about.
OG WoW. All right, let's look over here. I'm going to read the comments.
Oh, the OG WoW is Grums. I really like him. I follow him on Twitter. He's a solid follow on Twitter. He worked in World of Warcraft. As a matter of fact, I have a picture of him in one of my videos that I really like. Give me a second. Fall of Diablo Rurikhan. I'll show you guys. Yeah, here it is. This is a really good. This is him, Grums, the one on the left. And it's like, your fans are not toxic. Mark, please, I need to use the toilet. I'm sorry, I thought this thumbnail was pretty funny. Maybe I entertained myself a little bit too much. I thought that was funny. Anyway.
Made by Mark Kern, okay? A lot of people have wanted me to look at this, and I've been kind of slow about it, but we're going to get into it. So Mark Kern is talking about the Blizzard leak about State of WoW. So let's see here. I'll read this real quick, but I think it's probably bullshit. Lastly, the biggest elephant in the room. I'm just going to read it because it's funny. The biggest elephant in the room is yo boy Asmongold. The newer hires cannot stand him. They've used terms like toxic masculinities and dog whistles to dangerous males, while some of the oldest crowds still remaining have called him based or telling it like, bro, this is not, like, this is no way. Exactly, engaging some malicious act of cyber warfare. The idea that an outside element has such an effect on our product genuinely upsets people. How did we get here? A couple of things that happened in AAA game dev that led up to this point. The biggest thing is money. Once AAA gaming got bigger than all media, you start to attract a lot of executives who are in for the immense profit versus the love of making games. The change starts at the top and is made worse by game companies going public. This starts with a flow down to middle management who are starting to make serious cash. The why of a company changes. Instead of going for games that they would love to play and identifying as gamers themselves, there is now a sense of the other. We made the games, they paid for them.
Exactly. That's exactly where we're at. It's like they make the games and we pay for them, and that's like it used to be by gamers for gamers. I think that was one of the core philosophies of Blizzard. You know, from game what was it? By gamers for gamers, something like that. You know, made by gamers for gamers. And now it's like, no. We're developers. We're here to develop. We're here to study. We look at like flow charts and friggin' retention metrics. That's what matters. Making a good game, that's like secondary. The only thing that matters is retention metrics. Where are your retention metrics now? They're all in the game. All those retention metrics are still in the game. People are not, you know. The problem with those retention metrics is that when people free themselves from them, it's very hard to get them back.
OG Blizzard culture used to be we are gamers, right down to the receptionist. And we make a game for ourselves because we are gamers. That's gone now. And devs at many AAA studios are distinctly us versus them. The whiny, entitled gamers, as an example.
Jesus.
This was not helped by the increase in personal attacks on devs by gamers themselves. Gamers are passionate, but unfortunately this sometimes leads them to move beyond criticizing the game to personal attacks and some really unsavory and threatening behaviors.
This is a very important part, by the way. And this is something that I need to take more care in reminding people. Don't ever harass someone over video games. Don't ever make death threats to a developer over video games. Come on, dude. You don't do that. You just don't do that. Why would you?
True and real. It's very unfortunate that happens, and I try to call it out whenever I see it. Let's get back to the money. Once games were obvious moneymakers and everyone started to play them, and it became a cool rep, you started to attract a different type of developer. The first wave did it for free, made very little money, very little success, just to make the dreams happen. But once games were viewed as a stable myth, and more glamour career choice with good pay, you started to attract the types of professional who are very good at their job, but definitely what I call the 9-to-5ers. They treat it not as a passion, but as a routine job. Again, this wasn't helped by upper management, who is now flooded with MBA and marketing types who treat devs poorly and binge hire and fire them from project to project, treating them like tools. Unfortunately, this is not something that's unique to gaming. Yeah, it is not unique to gaming at all. This is just in general what it is. It's hard to have a passion when both management and angry gamers don't have your back. True. Then when Zynga blew up on Facebook and metrics were becoming important along with predatory monetization, when mobile exploded and everything became free but with pay to win, the sheer scale of gaming profits leapt in order of magnitude 1 to 2 or forwards, billions and not millions. Suddenly making games for game.
This was the dark ages. This is the dark ages. Like when this happened, this was when EA, if I'm remembering correctly, this is when EA basically murdered Dead Space. You guys remember the murder of Dead Space? When EA is just like, oh yeah, here's Dead Space 3 with, you know, there's no ending on it. There's like 1 million microtransactions on it. It's weird. It was so bad because I wasn't even like the biggest fan of Dead Space. I played Dead Space because a lot of people liked watching me play Dead Space. And when Dead Space 3 came out, I said, I'm not playing it. Sorry guys, like forget about it. There's no way I'm playing it. I'm going to play a game that's got like, I don't know, day one, you could literally just like buy stuff to craft some of the best gear in the game. And I'm just like, dude, come on. Yeah, Dead Space franchise only has 2 games in it. Yeah, exactly.
Sake was not the goal. Now games are needed to collect metrics, retain users, and the way success was judged was about how much money per user you could make, not about having a great game. The focus moved from gameplay to monetization metrics. I think that's true. It's like nowadays, basically, whenever you're buying a new video game, if you're talking about monetization, the way that you decide what monetization you want is you pick what dildo you want to get fucked in the ass with. Right? Do you want to get fucked in the ass with microtransactions? Do you want it to be free to play but with pay to win? Do you want it to have a pre-order thing that gives you extra stats?
Telling it like it is. Just telling it is. It's the truth. Like, you guys remember how even not that long ago we were talking about, what was the game? The, something of Midgard. I forget. There's a game coming out and it's like right now the price is $20 and they say they have a bunch of free season passes and whatnot that you're going to be able to get free season passes. And I'm just like, how's this game going to fuck me in the ass? That's literally my question. Like, how are you going to fuck me in the ass? Like, I need to know what kind of dildo am I going to shove up my ass when I play this game? Because that's kind of how it goes when it comes to any game that has any kind of like follow-up. You're always thinking about, okay, what's the downside? Because there's always a downside. Yeah, because it's monetization metrics.
Like, there's always something bad about a game. Like, there's DLC or like day one DLC, etc. There's always something like that in these games, and it's so sad to see. But I don't really see it changing. If you want me to be honest with you, I really don't. It just happens so often. When you design for monetization metrics, you get a very different type of game than if you design for gameplay. These two are often at odds, and you find yourself deliberately making your game worse so it can sell better convenience items and power items.
And whenever people ask, because people like to ask this a lot, whenever people ask like, oh, who cares about monetization? It's like, just don't buy, you know, just like, because this is the justification that people gave me whenever I said that Odyssey is a bad game and Valhalla is a bad game. And people are like, why do you care about what's in the store? It's optional. This is why. Because they will make the game deliberately worse so that they can sell you that XP boost and that coin doubler. And this is a fact. And I do not give a fuck about anyone who comes in here telling me otherwise. As a matter of fact, when you balance a game like that, you don't even know which difficulty is safe to play as. Can I play as at maximum difficulty, or is that just going to be a maximum grind fest to get me to buy the XP booster? It's literally pay to win. And it's like, I get so much. It's like, look, people, for those people that always come and defend the Assassin's Creed game to me, look, if you want to play Assassin's Creed game, you play your Assassin's Creed game all you want. All you want. You don't have to fucking convince me that the game is good. Because you're not gonna. You're just not gonna convince me because it's not. So just play your game. And when you hear me tell it to everybody else that your game is a fucking turd infested with microtransactions and pay to win mechanics, shut the fuck up and enjoy your game. Don't you like it so much? Why the fuck you gotta tell me not to talk about it? Your game is ass. Sorry, this is the truth. And you can play your ass game if you want to. I won't judge you for it. Doesn't stop the game from being ass.
That's true, and that's the way that they're designed. The game is designed to blue ball you into buying power bonuses.
There you go.
It is designed into blue balling you into buying something that you need to buy. That's
and we had that specific thing happen on stream for those of you who were here when I was playing Odyssey. It was literally designed to fuck you over. Because like I was playing Odyssey, and for those of you who don't know, like real quick summary, like you had this big story moment and I was like really engaged. I was like, man, this game is actually a lot of fun. I was actually enjoying it despite, I was trying to overcome the whole store thing, and I was actually enjoying, okay, this story moment was cool, and I got to run away, and it's like, you're running away, and there's an army chasing you, and you got to get to the boat, like, super fast, so that you get to the boat, and you get the hell out of there, and I was like, man, this was a good moment of the story, and just the second that you're on that high note of the game, you're just on that high note of the game, and you're really just enjoying it, and you're like finally abstracting yourself from the garbage-ass piece of shit cash shop that Ubisoft put in their single-player RPG games. I'll keep rubbing that in until the end of days. But like, right as you're at the tip top of actually enjoying the game, what does Ubisoft do? Like, the second that scene ends, Ubisoft goes like, hey, man, I got these 200 Ubisoft credits right here, buddy. Like, they literally open up a big fucking thing, takes up a third of your screen, and they tell you, I'm going to give you 200 of these, like, Ubisoft coins so that you can come over to the store, dude. You can come over to the store. You can spend some of that money, buddy. You can get some goodies, man. We got this coin doubler. We got this XP booster, man. Like, you can get some of the good stuff over in the store. And I was like, you motherfucker. Like, I never touched the game again after that because I will not be manipulated like that and played and fucked around with, because that is blatant manipulation. Because the best part is then you open up the store with your 200 Ubisoft credits and you can't buy shit. You can't buy anything with it. You got to put more money in to actually buy the important stuff. Because like if they give you 200, then the coin doubler costs 250, and the minimum that you can buy is like 500 of them fuckers. You think Ubisoft's giving you a handout with those 200? Nah, dude. You know what that is? You know what those 200 Ubisoft points were? That was like when you're in the street and like a fucking cocaine dealer's like, hey man, I'll give you like a free sample over here. Yo, just take a bump of this, man. You'll love it. And then the next time they're like, hey man, yeah. You want to buy some? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
What it is, man. Abso-fucking-lutely. Steve Jobs was right. When you let this type of why drive your company and you make monetization the only goal, you kill your innovation in the company and drive out the innovators and makers. That's true. While Jobs is talking about sales and marketing staff versus product makers, it's games, it's worse. In games, designers are now the sales staff. The gamification of monetization makes and breaks a AAA game. So now, even if your product people are contaminated with this mentality, that's true. Yeah, they have to, because they have to design it directly into the game. The devs do it for passion, who are tired of being blamed by gamers for corporate decisions above them, and who do it out of genuine passion. They will leave and go indie. What remains are those doing it as a job, one they often hate, and they are not innovators. The arrogance is also real. Steve talks about how whenever you get surprised because you have a monopoly on the market, WoW had a monopoly on MMOs, and they are no longer gamers, but game salespeople. So, of course, they are prone to disruption. In this case, it wasn't Square and Final Fantasy by itself. That just happened to be the game that was competing on gameplay instead of monetization. They were not the monopoly. It's also an old enough game that the old values of gameplay were more important. When sparked by an exodus from WoW, started with a player base that was tired of being treated as customers and often treated in a monopoly, taken for granted, poor service in terms of content, not listened to, milked for cash and fees. Then came the streamers. Streamers are the world's biggest force in game marketing. They can make a success overnight with zero traditional marketing. With Apex Legends, that's a good point. That's a huge point. Yeah, that happened. That 100% fucking happened. Or they can absolutely tear your game down. That's true too. Yeah, having streamers play the game and having it be a bad game does really, really hurt the game. It absolutely does. Yeah, Among Us is another one. Among Us is a huge one. He said no marketing. No, we didn't say no marketing. He said no traditional marketing. Listen to what he's saying. Listen here. Many of the AAA and game marketing never understood this, and many still don't get it today. When streamers were just getting started, I was told by EA and my AAA staff marketing teams what a waste of a time it was to do YouTube and Twitch, even though it cost a fraction of the ad spend. Of course they were wrong, and now curry favor to spend money on Twitch and YouTube.
What a waste of time to do ads on YouTube and Twitch. What a waste of time. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, dude. These guys were on some real shit back then, dude. They were the ones hitting up the dealer on the street. They're just like, oh man, gotta get a hit of cocaine before I go back to work today. Man, fuck YouTube and Twitch, man. That's some bullshit. Need to make some advertisements on the television. That's where gamers really go, right? Gamers watch TV, right? That's where we put our ads. Put it on the television and gamer magazines. That's what they do. They read magazines.
But they don't really understand it. They spend it's so true that they don't understand it, because they have streamers tweet out these going live tweets for these games. Like, I've had to do this too whenever we've done a sponsored stream, and you have to use some bullshit hashtag that nobody cares about. Like, I'm sorry, but your focus group marketing team made out of people that have 4 followers on Twitter don't understand how it works. That's why they have 4 followers on Twitter, and they're showing up to this job 5 days a week for $60,000 a year instead of actually going out and doing their own fucking marketing. It's because they don't know what they're doing. They're stupid.
Hey, $60,000 a year is not that bad. That's more than I make on YouTube and Twitch. $60,000 a year sounds pretty fucking good.
That's what it comes down to. And no, I'm not wrong. Like, I'm not fucking wrong. It's so pathetic, man. It's so fucking pathetic. They spend money on it, but they don't actually watch the streams to understand whenever things are going wrong, or they don't believe that it will affect them. So when Asmongold, this is me, started dipping his toes into alternatives to WoW, interviewing Final Fantasy content creators, and then finally playing it himself on stream, Blizzard was unaware or unbelieving of what was happening. They were the monopoly. Even Asmongold was taken in shock by the sheer number of viewers his Final Fantasy stream attracted. That's true. Even he underestimated the number of dissatisfied and curious alternative for WoW gamers. Well, what happens in streaming? Whenever one content creator hits a gold vein of views, others quickly hop on. That's very true too. Remember whenever Ludwig did the subathon and then everybody else did a subathon? That's what people do, man. I considered doing it. I decided not to, but there's plenty of other people that did consider doing it. Absolutely. Suddenly you have many WoW streamers talking about Final Fantasy and starting to stream it. What's a WoW gamer to think? The rest is history. The king is dethroned, an expression of shock on his face. Sometimes you don't need the best product, you just need to be good enough to take advantage of the company that's rested too long on their brand and monopoly to actually change, innovate, and improve. This won't change while gamers are leaving for good, but if a monopoly can wake up, pull an expansion out of a turnaround as drastic as Square itself did with The Realm Reborn, it can flip it around again. That's true. The problem is Blizzard, you chased all your innovators away. Oh well. I'm actually curious about this. I'm gonna look at Google Trends.
Wait, what's this last one? I leave a tip for Final Fantasy. This is the Final Fantasy Twitter account. Follow this and you will gain 10 times your sales and user base. Take it from the WoW guy. Fix your account website. Yeah, dude, it's not good. I don't think it's 3. Okay, people are saying it takes them 3 hours to figure out how it works. I don't think it's that bad, okay? It's not that bad. It didn't take me that long, all right? And again, I do have I do have a degree in computer science. Not that it matters nowadays, because it's not like I used it for anything, but I do have a degree in computer science, so I know about these here computers. I know how to operate the computer, so to me, it's easier, right? No. But, yeah. Take 6 devs and do an emergency rewrite. Thank me later. It took me 3 hours to buy your game and figure out account issues. I'm not alone. Holy shit. Oh my god.
So you've got World of Warcraft, and read his last tweet. Sure, let me read the last tweet. A tip for Final Fantasy XIV. Follow this and you'll get 10 times your sales and user base. Take it from the WoW guy. Fix your account website. It takes 6 devs to do an emergency rewrite. Thank me later. It took me 3 hours to buy your game and figure out account issues. I'm not alone. That's gonna get me that's gonna get a fucking like from me. That's true. That is so goddamn fucking true. Let's see here. World of Warcraft, and this is the game, and Final Fantasy.
Are we about to see the Asmongold effect?
Wow. What day did I start streaming the game? Yeah, what day did I start streaming the game? July 3rd. So that ended on... Wow.
Asmongold has become self-aware. You guys remember how it was in Terminator, and it's like, oh no, Skynet has become self-aware. This was the moment that Asmongold became self-aware. We paused it at the exact right moment too. Asmongold became self-aware. Of course that happened, Asmongold. What did you think? Why do you think so many people were curious about you playing it? What did you think was going to happen? I mean, here's the thing. It's not just Asmongold, because, like, if we go back on that graph a little bit, like, if we go back, like, see, back there, fuck, right behind the thing. Give me a second. Let's see him put the thing again.
And this is the game, and Final Fantasy.
So I think that right here is probably when Bellular started trying it out, right? Then Bellular was putting out some videos, and it was like, because like there was definitely an uptrend here. I would assume this uptrend to Bellular, because when Bellular started playing it, even I started making videos about Bellular playing it, because it was interesting to me to see this content creator that had only played World of Warcraft. I mean, I'm sure he's played other games or whatever. Like, it was interesting to me to see him try that stuff out. And there was a lot of people, like Preach also made videos about it. So this was them. And this was like the new top. This is like the new normal once Bellular and the rest of World of Warcraft content creators started going up, right? This was the new normal for Final Fantasy. And then in came Asmongold, is like, boom!
Wow. What day did I start streaming the game? Yeah, what day did I start streaming the game? July 3rd. So that ended on...
Yeah, it's like, here's another thing. Like, why do you think Ashes of Creation is so popular? Like, seriously, think about it. When did you first heard about Ashes of Creation? Where did you heard about Ashes of Creation first? Who's the first person you ever heard talk about Ashes of Creation? Because to me, it was definitely Asmongold. Lazy Peon. Okay, Mistralo heard from Lazy Peon. Okay, Lazy Peon. Pally Time. I didn't even know that Pally Time was interested in Ashes. Okay, Lazy Peon. All right, I get it. I guarantee that after Lazy Peon, a lot more people became aware of it through Asmongold, because Asmongold watched the Lazy Peon video or whatever. Then Asmongold interviewed the developers and all of that. Actually, I think I might have heard from Ashes of Creation from Lazy Peon as well. But Asmongold kept the ball rolling, right? Asmongold kept the ball rolling. So that's why Ashes of Creation is as popular as it is nowadays.
Wow.
Yeah. He became self-aware. Now he's going to sell out.
That's nuts.
Now he's going to
Holy
sell out,
shit.
dude.
That's crazy.
Asmongold's going to be streaming Raid Shadow Legends next week. Imagine Asmongold going like, hey, boys, let me tell you guys about this new game I've been playing. No, he's not going to do it. But it'd be funny as fuck if he did.
What the fuck? I don't even know what to say. That's insane. Wow. I mean, I think that's one thing I can say right there.
It was really good. It was funny how he became self-aware at the end there, though. That was really cool. I might watch this Go Carnage video. I'm curious about the Go Carnage, but I think Go Carnage is not playing it for the first time, though.